Hello, darlings. Welcome or welcome back. Today's reading is really interesting. Okay, I haven't even pulled any cards yet, but as I was lighting my candle here, it was bizarre because it lit, the flame was bright, and then the flame dimmed down to where I thought it was going to snuff out and then relit. And so I was like, okay, I don't know if this is like about relationships because it's a pink candle, so I was thinking maybe relationships, maybe a romantic situation, but I'm more feeling like it could be. We'll see with the cards, but I just feel like this is about someone maybe who I'm reading for, or someone that you're connected to who has felt like they damn near lost hope in a situation, and there is a reigniting, a blaze burning again for some reason. Okay, we're gonna get into the cards. I'll tell you what comes out in a second. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Sacred Symbols Oracle to get just the overall energy of the situation, and then I'll dive in more specifically with tarot as we go. Okay, Spirit, my higher self, my darling's higher self, thank you so much for using me as a channel to guide and instruct. I ask for the most clear and concise messages, information, feelings and sensations to flow through me for the betterment of my darling and for the highest good of everyone involved. Thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you for being here. Okay, Spirit. Give me some cards here. A few cards for the energy of the situation at hand. Who am I reading for? What's the situation? 3 cards. I knew it was going to be 3. That's so funny. You might be seeing a lot of 3s. Okay. Truth. Someone could be writing a message. It's a quill. New life. And meditate. We've got number 25, number 4, and number 40. So you might be seeing 4s as well. I'm being drawn to this card that's sticking up here, so I'm going to look at that as well. Friendship, 17. Okay. And growth is on the bottom. So this situation at hand is meant for your growth. There's some sort of growth like practice happening with this. Okay, and I'm sort of getting that like this situation, you may have felt like you were going in circles here, like you're just running in circles. And then we have karmic path, and look at the rings, running in circles. There's the pink candle that I was talking about, gratitude. Wow, okay. This has been a situation that you or this person has felt like you are running in circles. It is going nowhere fast. Okay, you're just losing your mind. It feels very tumultuous at times. It feels very emotional. It almost brings out like an animalistic side of you. Like you feel detached from, you or this person has felt detached from their soul in this situation because of some sort of triggering that's happened. The thing about this though is that the truth is coming to light here, okay, which is setting this growth, circle, this running in circles that you felt like it's actually elevating. So you're, ascending. Like a spiral, you're ascending. You're not running in circles, you're ascending. But it's because of this truth. This truth has come to you or to someone through spending time getting to know themselves, okay? Maybe they don't traditionally meditate. Maybe that's something that you or this person feels disconnected from, but you just spend time. It's almost like spending time trying to, like the way that I started meditating essentially was, I hated the term meditation because I felt like that was going to, I felt like I didn't like the label of spiritual stuff, right? So I just started like playing a game in my mind where I would just see how many thoughts I could watch as an audience member rather than like the main actor, character, director, okay? I would detach myself from the thoughts, and then that helped me to realize that just because I'm thinking something doesn't mean I have to feel it, doesn't mean I have to embody it, doesn't mean I have to let that be God-written truth in my life. And so someone could be doing the same thing, like just analyzing the truths that they have believed and the life that produced from those truths and how they can readjust some things. Now, this is a desire for connection because of this this revelation here, because perhaps this person's truth before your truth was sort of in conflict, 2 arrows. It's almost like Like you're supposed to be a teammate, but they're crossing. So it's almost like crossfire here. It's supposed to be a good connection. It's supposed to be a friendship, some sort of pure bond here, but you have really sort of triggered, this person has triggered your inner wounds, your old truth, and vice versa. You've done the same, even if neither of you intended for that, okay? But it's how your thoughts were perceiving the actions of this person, taking things personally. But really, it was just showing you as a reflection of your own personal belief system about yourself, your own thoughts. So you or this person has detached from their thoughts meaning anything significantly if they decide that they don't. Someone has throat chakra issues. Okay. Blue, isn't that throat chakra? Am I wrong? I feel like I could be wrong. I don't know why I'm being drawn to the blue, but someone could have a hard time speaking this new truth about their new life because perhaps they think that you might not believe it, or you think that they might not believe it. This flame is now like really bouncing and like really growing. That's ginormous, okay? I mean, I've seen bigger. Oh God, cut that out. I'm just saying, like comparison speaking, you know, like the flame is bigger than it was before. Let's just put it that way. So, someone's passion is growing for you bigger than it was before. I'm going to be honest, this feels like a connection reading, so I'm going to read it like that, okay? I'm not going to try to delve into, 1,000 different interpretations. I'm just going to go with the story I'm getting, and if it's your reading, it's your reading. These readings are meant for just a few people, okay? I read almost like a personal reading, so it's not going to be for everyone. But okay, Spirit, I'm going to go ahead and delve in. Tell me about the people in this situation. Tell me about my darling's energy. Okay, yeah, we'll start with your energy. What's your energy about this situation? What has your energy been about this situation? King of Cups, emotional balance, trying to be emotionally available, being strong, holding place. You've like held space for this person extremely well. You could be a water sign, or a lot of situations from this connection came during like water sign seasons, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, but yeah, it feels like you've held a lot of space for this person. You've been very balanced. You've been very stoic. Okay, you have witnessed this person and their ocean of emotions here, and I feel like you've held wonderful space for them. Okay, you've encouraged their curiosity. You've encouraged. I'm getting like the conversations that you have. It's like you never make them feel bad for their ideas. You never make them feel weird. You never make them feel like alone. The space that you've held for this person, even if there's been like a long space of silence in this connection, when you are together, you hold such immaculate, fantastic space for this person. Okay, you have been very strong, very amazing, very loving, very kind. But you've also probably felt like you could not express a lot of your true emotions. So I don't know if a lot of this holding space for them was a mixture of unconditional love and support for this person, but also a fear of opening up yourself and being possibly like a fear of rejection. But it feels like right now, it's not like you're immature in this energy. You're very mature in this energy. So you show your emotions when it's damn well appropriate to, and you don't when it's not. Okay? All right. This person, okay, I hadn't asked a question yet, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this in the middle for right now, the Empress energy. So there's something very good that's supposed to happen with this connection. If this is how this person is viewing you, then they think that you're the whole package, okay? They think that you're very kind, loving, abundant, that you're creative, that everything you touch turns to gold. You just know how to transmute energy so well. I've talked about in old readings how the Empress, reminds me of sort of, she'd be the person who, instead of throwing out all of her, food scraps into the trash to just rot in a landfill, she would compost it and turn it into more nutrient-dense soil so that she can grow better nutrient-dense produce to, nourish her family, like that's the Empress energy, is just turning all of your situations into gold, right? Everything you touch is just flourishing. Like you've really bloomed, you've really blossomed. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here because I did not get my question out about this person's energy. So I'm not feeling like this is supposed to be this person's energy, but it's maybe something mutual between you. It's something that's supposed to turn, you know, turn shit into manure, you know, like let's turn some trash into treasure here. Okay, that's the whole point. Turning trash into treasure here. All right, what has this person's energy been in this connection? Seven of Pentacles, hesitant, okay? Yeah, this person, it's almost like they have a hard time with long-term investment things, okay? They might like instant gratification a lot. It feels like at this point, though, they are reevaluating. They are reevaluating what's been going on. And you know, the funny thing is that this is all about like taking stock of what you're harvesting, right? Reaping what you're sowing. They are looking at what they have, you know, sowed in their life, in their circumstances, and what they're reaping because of those situations. So if this person has dealt with like instant gratification issues, then they're noticing, okay, whenever I need something, when I need a quick fix, I go to unhealthy things. I go to unhealthy people. I choose unhealthy food. I choose unhealthy snacks. I choose instant gratification rather than taking time to really do nourishing things. Now, the beautiful thing about having the Empress here is that this is someone saying, I have to change my habits here. If I'm going to keep feeling like shit if I keep giving into just convenient shit, you know? Like there's a time and a place, and it just feels like if I want something long-term, long-standing, if I want to be proud of what I am accomplishing in my life, then I need to invest long-term into things. And how would you reap more rewards from your harvest? Compost. Compost. Let's turn the food scraps into compost. Let's turn this trash into gold. How can I make something better of this? This person is in a reevaluation stage of their life, and they are recognizing that you've held a lot of space for them. Okay, Ace of Pentacles here, planting a new seed, new life, truth, tangible here. This person, both of you actually, because I'm going to take this as an overall energy here, both of you are making real, tangible life changes individually, okay? One at a time. You're both being given opportunities to choose a better pathway, to choose a new path. If I don't like where I'm at, what do I need to do to get to where I'm going? And this is not avoiding your situation. This is saying what I've been aligning with, mind, body, spirit, my habits, my daily thoughts, what I give into as that's just conveniently how I think. That's just conveniently how I believe. I'm rewriting this. I'm taking this opportunity to do something better for me. Ace of Pentacles. This could also be given an opportunity to meet up and maybe extending an olive branch of some sort here, but I'm going to dive even deeper. Okay, let's get in. Okay, tell me about where this situation, what the energy of the situation between both my darling and this person is at this point. Oh no, I did that all wrong. Is that a sign? That might be a sign to not use this deck. I'm going to try to split it. Okay, right away I'm seeing the Lovers peeking out right here. Okay, I'm not going to, Four Swords, Lovers. Interesting. So there might be a silent spell here. Okay, you might be disconnected from this person, but it's for a reason, it's for a purpose. And in that time of reflection, you know, it's almost like, it's like both of you realize that it's almost time to leave the nest here, right? You can't just stay this way forever. You both realize you can't stay this way forever. Sorry, these cards that got flipped. Yeah. High Priestess, Nine of Swords, Ace of Wands. This is the most bizarre shuffling situation ever. I've never experienced anything like this happening in a reading. That is so funny. Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, High Priestess. Yeah. You know, it's almost like... Oh. This is so weird. Okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick this up in this image. There, behind this woman, you know, sobbing, overthinking, is a silhouette of a bed. Okay, you can probably barely see that in the grass. There's a bed frame that she's sitting at the edge of. That's why there's a pillow here. The way I saw this was like two kids holding a jump rope. And this person like can't jump the rope. Okay, like frustrated, upset because they can't jump the rope. So maybe both of you have felt like you were unable to participate the way that the other person wanted you to in this connection. But it's all mental stuff. Like you can choose to give up, you can choose to sit down and cry, or you can get back up and keep trying to jump, you know, like keep jumping, keep going. Because it's no fun if we're just sitting here. Like both of you are realizing this is no fun if we're just sitting here finding faults, finding complaints, you know, finding reasons to not play, finding reasons to not be together, finding reasons to not connect. That's no fun. Like that just fuels instability, that just fuels insecurity. Okay, this person, or you could be thinking about this at night specifically, or having a hard time with sleeping. You're probably getting a lot of spiritual messages in your dreams, actually. Ace of Wands, High Priestess, and the Nine of Swords. You're probably getting a lot of intuitive guidance in your dreams. So if you need to keep a dream journal, that's really encouraged right now. But it's because you're navigating out of this, like, almost, it feels like you or this person just sort of has cursed everything in your life. Maybe not literally everything, but like there's a specific theme of like cursing the outcome of certain things in your life that you want to work out. Or with this person, Four of Cups. Yeah, finding reasons to be unhappy with it, pointing out the flaws. Yeah, it's like life is how you perceive it. If you're looking for flaws, if you're looking for imperfections, if you're idolizing someone so much and then they show their humanity, then their humanity then affects you in a negative way, and you're like, oh, see, that's a deal breaker. Not saying not to have deal breakers, but there's something here about like recognizing that idolizing them is not doing them any favors because you're not seeing them in their humanity. Okay, if you look for reasons to love, you will find reasons to love. If you look for reasons to leave, you will find reasons to leave. It is all about how you're perceiving things. If you look for reasons to be happy, you will find reasons to be happy. If you look for reasons to be miserable, you will find reasons to be miserable. Okay? All right. This is the most bizarre thing ever. Okay, Five of Swords. There's been a lot of conflict. Maybe you've sort of been trying to get one up on each other for a long time, or feeling like you're just misunderstanding each other. Okay? Like, it doesn't matter what I say. It's never received well. It turns into a fight. And that's not what either of you want. Ten of Pentacles. Four of Wands. That is not what either of you want. You both want to be together. You both want to build stability. You both want union, happy, family. You know, you want to be together. You want the good times. You want to build something that feels like home, you know, feels right, but it feels like you've just both misunderstood each other so much. Okay. Okay. Queen of Cups. There's that. Yeah. Yeah, because we've been looking for reasons to be fighting, for reasons to not get along, for reasons that, you know, both of you are looking at the other person like just neither of you can do the right thing, instead of looking at each other with love, instead of just accepting the humanity of these people. It's been very dramatic, okay? I think the problem is because there's been like this idolization thing happening from both of you, that whenever either of your humanity shows at all, then it's like the passion that comes from idolizing the other person so much just sort of turns into frustration. Five of Wands. It turns into frustration. Your passion just quickly turns into frustration. Yeah. Five of Pentacles. And then here we go. Then we take a leave. You know, we take an absence here. We feel shut out from the other person's life. We feel locked out. We feel alone. Okay. Okay. What, on Darling's side of this equation here, what does Darling need to be focused on regarding this connection and the growth that's supposed to come individually or with this person? Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Hold on. Five of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. I'm talking to someone who, because of your own inner child stuff, your own inner child issues, you could have had it. You could have had a situation from your childhood where you felt abandoned. Even if you had both parents in the home, there was something that happened where you felt like, I have to stand alone. I have to stand alone. And there is like emphasis here on not projecting that energy in this connection. If you have not touched that energy yet, like if you haven't really worked through that, that is encouraged, inner child work specifically, which I'm not telling you to focus on healing or to believe that you're broken or anything like that, because you're not. The whole thing about healing journeys is that the only issue is that you think you're broken. That's it. You're telling yourself you're broken. And there have been situations that have made you feel like you're not the version of yourself that you were before, and that you'll never return to the version of yourself that you were before. Absolutely. But you are always able to choose a lane in the road that says, I may not be that person anymore, but that doesn't mean that I'll be less than what I was. I can choose to be me. I can choose to be more. I can choose to be good. I can choose that. Okay, there's something here about like you recognizing that you don't need anyone, this person or anyone, to fix that for you. Okay? Now, maybe showing up for yourself and not abandoning yourself does mean, remaining single, remaining away from this person, just sort of doing things on your own. Absolutely. Okay? I'm not telling you to put up with BS. That would be abandoning yourself. That would be abandoning yourself. But there's this feeling here of like, do you remember when connecting with people was fun? Do you remember the fun of that? Do you remember when you weren't so fixated on what a person was doing or what they were thinking or how they were feeling? Do you remember that? Because that's security in a connection. That's security within yourself. Take out of a connection. You want secure connections. You want to feel safe in a connection. Security within yourself. Okay? Yeah, I've got my back. Yeah, I'm going to do fun things. I'm not broken. I'm going to choose to be the version of myself that I want to be every single day. I'm going to do things towards my goals. I'm not going to sit here and overthink. I'm not going to shoot down my ideas. I'm not going to squash my dreams. I'm going to show up as the person. I'm going to do things every day. Like a kid. Like when kids are learning how to do things, they go after it. They go after it. I learned how to play guitar in a year from a piece of paper with a chord chart and spending 2 hours every day after school in my room practicing. No one taught me. No one sat with me every day. I didn't go to guitar lessons. Am I the greatest guitar player? Absolutely not. I'm atrocious. I'm atrocious compared to other people who've been playing as long as I have. But I love playing guitar and I love singing. And the whole thing was like, that was what I was going to do. And I didn't care how shitty I sounded. I didn't care that I'm not the greatest guitarist. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that I'm not the best tarot reader. I don't care that I'm not the best anything. I am just happy that I get to do things that I want to do, that I felt inspired to do, and how miserable I felt whenever I was talking myself out of attempting it. So there's something here about like you really going after what you want for your inner child so that you can stop like over-analyzing everyone else's role in your life. Like you're the most significant role in your life, okay? Now I'm gonna get what this person is focusing on, or what spirit is nudging this person to be focused on for this connection or something. Okay, we've got the 8 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. So this person, Queen of Cups and the 8 of Wands. We got double eights there. So 88 could be important. 6 of Swords. Interesting. This person has had a barrier against, specifically, I'm feeling like feminine energy, mother energy with the Queen of Cups. They've had the same inner child issues, okay? They had a mother figure or a feminine figure in their life that basically told them, shut up, stop crying about it, and be a brave, I'm like, be a tough boy, be a strong boy. And they have got to unlearn that voice. And I'm not telling, like, I'm not sure who I'm reading for. If you're more aligning with this energy, I'm not telling you to be, you know, a sobbing, weeping mess, but there's something here about like recognizing how you are so quick to run away, to flee a situation, to just go on a whim whenever you feel both passion and emotions together. There's something here about like recognizing just because you have emotions attached to your passion doesn't mean that that's something that's going to hurt you, okay? It doesn't mean that that's something that's going to hurt you. Like there's something about here, like not feeling like that's a sign of weakness. Your emotions are not a sign of weakness at all. You don't have to be like macho. You don't. Yeah, you don't. That's something that we have to step away from so that we can actually let, like, I feel like the quiet just settle in. All of a sudden, I just feel like a quiet wave just settled in. That is so bizarre. Walking away from the noise, the emotional noise. So this person, I feel like the emotional noise is all in your head. All in your head. And because you don't know how to like work through that thought process, maybe we don't know how to like vocalize that or talk through it. There's something here about like, okay, well, when I do that, I'm just going to block it out. I'm just going to block it out. I'm not going to listen. I feel like I need to get more on that. 6 of Swords. That's logic, like logically walking away versus emotionally walking away. Yeah, it's like instead of talking things out, we just leave the situation. Oh, Ace of Cups under there. Instead of talking through our emotions, we just leave. So this person is learning how to not run from their feelings, how to not run from their heart, okay? How to address attachments with feminine energy, like how to not feel like they have to be the strong one all the time when it comes to relationships. There's something here about like recognizing that the Queen of Cups is also very intuitive, okay? And we got the High Priestess. We got the Queen of Cups here earlier. The High Priestess showed its face earlier. There's something here about like recognizing maybe this person is very traditional in their thinking of like gender roles, especially in a relationship. And so they want to take on the responsibility of like being provider energy, but then they get in their emotions because they can't, like, who's worth providing for? Who's worth investing that? And the thing is, when you're afraid of opening up or being vulnerable in that way, no one's worth that. Everyone's worth it. There's a person for everyone. I'll just put it that way. To someone, anyone is worth investing in. Anyone is worth providing for. But there's something here about like, okay, if that's so necessary for you, I have to show up. I have to be the strong one. I have to be the one, who's given a lot of recognition for what I can bring to the table. That sort of energy. Then there's something here about like the problem that we're having is not letting that masculinity rest in the protection of like intuitive spiritual protection that a feminine has to offer. Okay, you specifically, maybe you've been very spiritually protective over this person. So there's been this lack of safety with feminine energy that they're working through. Okay. Yeah. Possibly, I just saw the Page of Wands, so that could possibly be like around the start of Leo season when this really has come to fruition for this person. Okay, Spirit, where's this going? Let's get one last deck here. We're already at 30 minutes and I'm probably running late. Okay. Where is this going, Spirit? What is this leading to? What's coming up for this connection? Two of Pentacles. Page of Wands. 10 of Cups and the Hierophant. And the Lovers. Oh, are you kidding me? 2 of Wands, 6 of Swords. Queen of Swords is at the bottom. Listen, I feel like the thing that's been lacking from this connection the whole time has been like a real, how do I want to say that? Real accountability for your own stuff. This person's stuff and your stuff. Like, that's been what's missing, is that there's been this like, you're responsible for my stuff, you're responsible for my stuff. And that is what has been jumbled up this energy so bad in the past. And I feel like what's happening here is an opportunity for us to choose to not be so emotionally, energetically, spiritually immature in this connection. Okay? There's a reason that there's a pull from this person and you. There's a reason. Okay? I'm not telling you to like reconnect. I don't know. I can tell you right now, like, this situation that I'm reading on is not hella toxic. It's not. I'm not saying there hasn't been big mistakes, but like, it almost feels like childhood squabbles. Okay? Although it's probably not felt like that. And I'm not trying to minimize this. If this is your reading, then you'll know, okay? This is just like triggering each other over and over and over again. I'm not seeing anything horrific or unforgivable in this situation. I'm seeing two very misunderstood people. And they're misunderstood by the person that they feel the most draw magnetism connection to, okay? I'm telling you, coming up, there's an opportunity for that to switch, okay? For there to be accountability, personal accountability with the Queen of Swords, individually. For you to say, I'm done being so immature in this. I'm so done being immature about this. Like, I want happiness, I want fulfillment, I want family, I want to feel emotionally abundant, and that's what I'm going to stick to. Mind over matter, right? I'm going to stick to new habits, new traditions. I want something traditional. So if I want to be mature, if I want to be wise, if I want to be trustworthy, if I want to be someone that they can lean on for wisdom, someone that you can talk to at any time, then I've got to be that person. I've got to show up as that person. The Lovers. This person, you both love each other, right? But you've chosen things that set you guys apart over and over and over again. Setting each other apart. Pushing each other away. And I feel like what's pushed each other away is that you're both putting the responsibility of your well-being on the other person. There's something here about going back to how fluid and fun connections are supposed to be. When you truly see a person, when someone truly sees you and your humanity, there's no idolizing, there's no worshiping, there's no, you're better than me, they're better than me, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. None of that shit. Just like soul to soul. I love you, quirks and all. What do you have going on? Here's what I have going on. Let me be vulnerable. Oh, I'm dealing with my own triggers here. Taking responsibility. Oh, I'm dealing with my own triggers. Here's why I'm triggered. And I'm trying to work through that and being vulnerable in that way rather than just like You should know how I feel. There's an opportunity coming up. It could bring this person back around. You could come back around here, but there's something here about focusing on conflict resolution, focusing on understanding each other, not getting so fogged by your own misconceptions of what this other person is thinking, feeling, doing. Just being. Like, you have the mental authority over your life to be mentally calm. If that's not with this person, that's fine, okay? This connection could have just been a catalyst for you growing so that you don't repeat this pattern in other connections. But there's something here about having gratitude that this one is the connection that's teaching you that, okay? And I hope that doesn't sound like I'm like preaching at you, because I really don't intend that at all. Is there anything that we want to close this off with, Spirit? Or no? I'm going to do... I forgot all the names of my decks. Oh my gosh. Moonology Oracle real quick just to close this out. My candle's almost out, so... And I've got some shorts to record before I go get kids from school. Alright. Okay, Spirit, how do you want to close this reading out? What is a final message here for my darling in this situation? Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Hey, they're neighbors. And then a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Literally. So maybe that timeline is important. Aries to Taurus to Gemini season. That space of 3 months could be really significant. So that could be when this takes place. This could be what you need to focus on until that time frame. Or this could be something that happened, you know, this previous Aries, Taurus, Gemini stretch. But I hope that this reading was insightful and helpful for you. I hope that it resonated for you. If it did, I'll see you down in the comments. Let me know. I love hearing all of the personal stories about how readings resonate or how they apply, if you feel comfortable with that. If not, you know, just give me a little like, or just, you know, tell me it was your reading. I appreciate it. I love that confirmation so much, okay? I'm going to leave this here. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, and ta-ta!